circuit that's been familiar to you since you were very young? I think you did some karting here, didn't you? Way back in the day. And
well, it started even before. My dad had a race team, so he would always take me to the races here, 24 Hours of Spa, or I even remember being here for the F1 Grand Prix in '91. Yeah. Watching the cars go by, and then my go-kart engine tuner was at a go-kart track, so I used to come pick up my engines and break them in and practice here a lot. So yeah, and actually my first race here was probably like in a Formula Renault in '99 or something, and then I did 24 Hours of Spa in 2001.
That's the one and only time you've done it, right?
No, I've done it like 3 or 4 more times in the Audi, but yeah, I didn't do it so often, but yeah, it feels home.
You had that gap in your Porsche career, obviously, between 17 and last season, 2023. What was that like? Because it sensed that somebody who loves endurance racing was a bit frustrated. You know, you were doing other things and enjoying those, but there must have been an element of you thinking, right, I just can't wait to get into this hypercar era and get stuck into this 963 program.
Yeah, of course it was a bit disappointing, you know, when the first step happened with Audi pulling out, and then very happy to join Porsche, but then they stepped out. So my aim was to continue racing in endurance and winning at Le Mans. So I had the opportunity to race for Rebellion for 2 years, but obviously you couldn't compete with works teams, and reoriented myself with Formula E, which was a really refreshing and super cool new challenge. But when I heard that Porsche was going to come back in the WC Championship and there was the option, for me it was a no-brainer to be part of this project. And yeah, they asked me what I want to do, so it didn't take too long to make my choice to come back to endurance racing, and especially now with a bigger field and this new rules platform that we have, yeah, new competitors. It's something I didn't want to miss.
André, let's talk about teammates. You'll be forever remembered as winning those 3 Le Mans with Ben and Marcel. Fantastic squad. You had such great attributes, all of you, brought to that team. And now you've got Kevin and Lawrence. And when you look at those two dynamics, obviously where you are in your career is a very different part to where you were with Ben and Marcel. How is that dynamic, and what's it like working with drivers at a sort of slightly different phase of their career? Have you found it interesting yourself?
Yeah, very interesting. I think, well, I will never get what I had back then, because it was just different ingredients, different people, and it was an amazing time. And Ben and me, we were friends like already a long time before being teammates. So. And it happened all naturally, and I went through also different teammates and different teams, which was okay as well. But I have to say now with Lawrence and Kevin, I have a really good relationship. It's very harmonious. We all have our role, and I'm a bit in a different role now than I was before at Audi, yeah, we all complete each other, and I think we start to understand that we actually function really well. Like last year was the first, let's say, tryout, and the more we go ahead, the more we enjoy working together. I think that's a good sign, and that's very positive. And I try to bring my experience and keep things calm, and I think when one do that and the other feels comfortable, you don't put too much ego, you think of the trio itself. I think things start working naturally. It's good for your engineering crew as well, which is really good this year as well. So I think it's been going pretty well and shown in the results, and I really enjoy spending my time with them. I stayed at Lawrence's house last night, and it's good fun. We like hanging out, so it's a good thing to have, you know. Like, it's not always like this.
What a lot of fans like about you is they follow you on Instagram, and you've got some great passions as well as racing. you're a very good photographer and you take your photography seriously. You make your own olive oil. What's the vintage going to be like this year, Andre? Any tips on the vintage?
It's pretty good. Sometimes a bit more spicy, sometimes less, but yeah, I like nice things, so that's why also I like to race for Porsche, you know. Yeah, I gotta have a bit of time for hobbies. You know, my dad was into photography. I was always the guinea pig, you know, when we went to the go-kart track, and so it was like a sleeping hobby. And then my time in Japan definitely also influenced me a bit on that, and yeah, I like collecting also vintage Porsches. So, and yeah, I guess it's just what I like to do.
My colleagues in the media room often say to me, André Lotterer, he's like a modern day Jackie Ickx. Now you've won a few less Le Mans than the great man himself, and I know that you enjoy spending time with him. I mean, if your legacy is a 21st century Jackie Ickx, I mean that's quite an accolade, isn't it? You'd take that.
I don't know if I can accept that, because he's such a big, charismatic and legendary person. So even to get anywhere close to him, I feel very honored, of course. But when I met him the first time in Le Mans, he used to be an Audi ambassador, and he was in the hospitality, and met him for the first time. Say, hey, I grew up in Belgium, you know, I'm a fan of yours, and then we say, okay, let's go for dinners, and so we regularly will start going for dinners when I was in Belgium, or we see each other in Monaco. So I really have a lot of time for him as a person, but also respect him immensely, his career, the versatility, and what he's done. But also, yeah, as a person, he's quite an impressive human being. And actually, I'm going to race with his colors this weekend with a helmet that looks similar to his, with the blue and my design on the white lines. So he said, you are my best ambassador. So I told him I will do that. So it's nice to have his support.
So final question, Andre, when we talk about your legacy, when you retire, and I hope it's many years down the line, but when you do that, and when you look back on your career, what do you think the legacy of what you've achieved will be? What will you look back on the most fondly? I mean, obviously Le Mans is going to be a big part of that, but is there something beyond that, more, I don't know, more philosophical about how you did your craft in racing?
Well, I can say that I always like play with the cars that I had, you know, like I never really had big sponsorship backing, and I think if I look back what my parents have done for me, you know, all the sacrifices that my family did for me to succeed, is something that we can be proud together that all of this was worth it. And because you can't take it for granted that people invest in a 12 or a 13-year-old with everything they have, creating debt, and that you made it into a successful career. That already in itself is something to be happy. Everything else is for sure on top, and hopefully more Le Mans wins. But yeah, definitely the first Le Mans win and the way it happened, and my time there was quite epic. But also what I've done in Japan. You know, I went there for a year. Then I stayed 15 years, so and it was a great thing to do as well. Racing there, winning races, done an F1 race. So I don't know. I just will, you know, try to look back and be satisfied. But you know, racing drivers, you always want more. You know, you look like maybe I could have done this or could have done that, but because our mind always wants to compete and achieve more, and you will maybe look at some opportunities. But overall, I think so far it's been good. I still want more. Hopefully I can look at more, and I've not set myself an age. You know, I still want to race. Maybe 10 years ago I thought, okay, 45, but I don't know if I'm still fast and good and everything is fine at 45. Why not continue? You know?
I think Mario was 60 when he did Le Mans, wasn't he? In 2000, I was there actually. So why not?
Yeah, why not? Of course, I guess I can keep racing, but what level are you talking about? You know, are you still being a works driver, part of a structure like this, or are you just racing, you know, in a different way. But no, there's some great examples. I mean, of course, you know, Tom Christensen, Alan Dindo, they raced quite long successfully at Audi. Who else is still, you know, racing? I don't know, with 45 or the Castro Neves, I guess. Or if you look back, like guys like Hoshino in Japan, like he was racing Formula Nippon back then until almost 50, I think. So and quite competitively. So or Super GT. I'm not sure when he stopped Super Formula, but it is. Yeah, I think it's all in the head, and if you have the motivation and you keep fit, nothing speaks against it.
Great, nice chat. Thank you, Andre. Appreciate it.